so good for the garden?
They're natural digesters. They eat dirt, and worm poop is really good for your garden. In the technical terms, they call them worm castings. So if you're in a store that's selling bags of stuff, if it says with worm castings or a bag of worm castings, that's worm poop. And it's what the worms have eaten and digested and back out. And it's just good for the soil. And it's twofold, because when they make their holes up and down, it gives the rain a place to go. And it gives you some natural aeration. Dirt packed too tight with no air in it is bad. And when you eliminate the air out of the soil, that's when you get it compacted. And it doesn't grow well. The roots actually need a little bit of air to make things work.
Hey Simon, grab your toys, okay?
Oh yeah,
I was watching. Okay, fertilizer is very scientific. Very scientific. And so yeah, it's
about how many sprinkles per square inch?
yeah, and that's why the rake is going to help us disperse this. And so we can grab that rake and stir up the top couple inches. We don't know the condition of the soil. So we're going to assume it needs a little help. This one, just don't dig really deep. We're not trying to dig out weeds. We're just trying to incorporate the fertilizer. And so about like that. So then be thinking about, in this bed, how many carrots do you want? Do you want to split it in half and do one row of carrots from the half? Do we want to plant our rows the other way and plant a row of carrots that way? Oh, what do you think that was? So you can come back and add stakes. We're going to mark them now and then remember where they're at, because then a well-marked stake is even better. I've got some white plastic ones that I write on with a Sharpie. And by the end of summer, the Sharpie is wore off and you get to use them again.
Yeah.
You could put a row of carrots there and across. And so that could mark one row. In carrots, we don't really need a whole foot in between our row of carrots, but we've got a mark on the rake handle that gets us pretty close. And so do you see, that one would be 2 foot from there to the end, and that one is 3 foot there to the end. So you know you got a foot between 2 and 3. You can lay the rake handle up and see if we're about a foot. You can go right up against the boards like that. And right up against the boards will be nice, because then if we're going to come back and scrape and fluff our soil to make a nice bed, then we'll be all set. And so you can kind of make a row, fanning them side to side. And if the lumps end up in between the rows, we're okay. And so
It'll be fun.
it gets you, yeah, perfect, like that. And then line right up with your stake, because that's where we're going to put our row. So now the seed is a little tiny seed. So I'm going to do one, you guys are going to do the other. So just make a line, kind of like that.
That?
Yeah, so nicely done. Okay, so open those up, pour them carefully out. Put just a little pile in your hand, just a little bit.
Could I see? So shiny. Can I see?
That's
All
good.
right, see if that's enough, yeah.
So now, you can do what your sister did. Put about a dime, put that pinch in. So now you'll be able to see those seeds when you drop them. Ideally, if you were a phenomenal garden, you'd put those an inch apart all the way down, but that'll be too hard to do. So you take that little pinch, and then you kind of rub your fingers and it drops them in. So I got a seed there, a seed there, a seed there, and a seed there. So I've got a spot planted from here to there. And so I've got seeds in there. So go ahead and do that same thing.
Where can I put them?
We're going to add those in a row. If they're a little bit thick, it'll be okay. So start right in this end here, and you can see the little trench they've got. Sprinkle them in, and you'd want to seed about every inch.
Take some with your hand.
Yep, in between your fingers. See how your sisters do that? So, yep, a pinch between your fingers and just sprinkle them out. So now we've got seeds in our trench, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so most of those seeds ended up in the bottom. I use 2 hands because I'm not very coordinated. And I take that nice fine dirt and see how I'm kind of pushing the edges in? Ideally, we want that carrot seed in the ground about a ½ inch. We're gonna have a nice little ridge all set. And then we're gonna lightly pat it and just firm it down. And now, look at how nice that looks. You can identify your row really well. if you get the opportunity to water them and label them better, then you're good to go.
Comes in